Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the NS9 Postgame Show powered by Primanti Brothers. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we got Dougie Fresh. Doug, happy Pirates Sunday.
Yeah, it's a Pirates Sunday.
That it
North
is.
Shore 9
Indeed.
competing directly with the Steelers game. We're going to smash them in the ratings.
Oh my God. This is going to be fun. No, we've definitely noticed it is football season for many Pittsburgh fans. And yeah, the Steelers game actually is going on right now. So this is going to be fun. But hey, for all of you that are here watching this show right now, you know what to do, just like Peter did, just like William did, just like our boy Polsky did. Put the hashtag raise it in the comments for your chance to win 2 free Primanti Brothers sandwiches. Because you know, Doug, we're not done yet. We're still giving away sandwiches.
Hey, we play all 162, baby. Right? We don't take days off. We grind. We grind. We play. We play. You know, Derek Shelton's inspired us. We're playing we play all 9 innings. We play all 162 games.
Some might even say 162 plus.
Well, nobody I know. I guess if you count spring training, right? If you count spring training,
listen, I'm counting every little bit I can.
Yeah.
But before we go any further, right? But BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with one of our over 150 slot games. Head to the website to get on the action. BetOnline, the game starts here. So, Doug, I want to start this off by saying where the game started, because Jared Jones. Now, a week ago, literally 1 week ago, you and Jim were on the post-game show.
Jim and I, right. And you kicking in all the research. Yeah.
But one thing, Jim noticed you guys talked about was the curveball, how much Jared Jones used the curveball, and then the velocity, he was throwing it harder. Today, to open up the game, Jared Jones threw 5 straight fastballs, 99 miles an hour or higher. Then he threw in a curveball. Also threw in a slider there. Everything was up again. Again, even the slider, his velocity was up everywhere.
Yeah,
and then
I've been
2 straight strikeouts in the third out as well.
Right. That first inning looked great. 1, 2, 3. My biggest question about this game, my biggest point of interest was, what was Jared Jones going to throw and how hard was he going to throw it? You guys, Jim brought it up. You did all the research and the facts and figures, and it was fascinating. It was one of the more interesting things that we've had to discuss in a while. And I wanted to see if did he think he found something, and how was he going to approach this start? And it doesn't seem like he relied on the curve as much. He was using his whole arsenal, and if the Pirates were a well-run, well-coached team, I think someone pulled him aside and said, "Look, you got a couple starts left. You had a little time off. You probably got some left in the tank. Let's see what you got. Let's sort of treat this, almost like a AAA. Hey, we're going to work on the development of this pitch, or just keeping hitters off balance, that sort of thing." He started out so great. He was throwing that fastball, throwing the slider, and daring people to hit it. And he had great command. And the command sort of waned as the season went on. And now when he'd give up those home runs, they weren't solo home runs anymore. So it's interesting to see. I don't know. What did you see? I was curious. You're much more analytical than me. I'm just the old man telling people to get off my yard.
Well,
Mitch Keller in particular, get off my yard.
Right. I mean, honestly, from the beginning of this game, Jared Jones, I was just elated. I mean, what is going on here? Because, you see something happen one start, which was last Sunday, and it's like, okay, I'm intrigued, right? Something's going on here. This is something I'm going to focus on and look into. But, how's it going to carry over? What's going to continue to happen? This was just one game. So now it's the second game. He threw predominantly fastballs that first inning. I think 3 or 4 curveballs and just 1 slider. So like that also is something a little bit different. I mean, he's predominantly fastball, slider, a little bit of curve. He featured the curveball more, as a secondary, pitch in that inning. And again, he was throwing it a lot harder. Now, at the end of the day, the velocity, of course, did fall a little bit. Actually, right from the second inning on, it started going back a little bit towards the norms, but still harder than it's been. Again, like at the end of the day, his curveball was up 2.3 miles an hour. His slider was up 1.3. Fastball even up a whole tick on his average for the year. I mean, he was averaging 98.3 on that fastball. Again, averaging. It's been a while since we've seen Jared Jones hit triple digits consistently. He was doing that a lot today.
Yeah, I mean, he looked, again, it looked like the breather had done him well. Yeah, it did diminish a little after that first inning, but he still had it. He walked a few. His command wasn't as sharp, but again, to borrow a word, he's very intriguing right now, right? I'm more intrigued by him now than I was 2 weeks ago, because it looks like he's developing, that he's growing, that he's trying some stuff to see, hey, can I use this? Do I have this in my back pocket for, next year? Can I get more efficient? Can I go later in games? That sort of thing. Do I have another out pitch in there somewhere? And, there's nothing left to play for this season, but individual growth. So I want to see. I'm terribly afraid that this coaching staff is coming back. So if they're coaching guys up, hey, I'm all for it. Let's use this time to make people better. Let's use this time to assess what they can do.
Yeah. So again, that first inning had me. I mean, all the bells and whistles were going off in my head. I can't wait to. Everyone's coming. It's football season. NFL's on. I don't care. Jared Jones is on, and what he's doing right now has me really excited. So again, that first inning looked really sharp, really good. Then the Pirates are due up, and the bats come alive. Isiah Kiner-Falefa starts it off, getting a single. Brian Reynolds doubles. IKF scores already on the start of the game. 1-0 Buccos. And then it kind of dwindles down. O'Neill Cruz flies out, Kutch strikes out, Joey Bart strikes out as well. But hey, Pirates are up 1-0. Jared Jones looks great. Now it's his turn to get back up here on the second.
Right. It's their first lead of the series. Right. However, I mean, you know what I'm saying? They have been getting their lunches taken the first two games, and it was nice to get out to a lead. It made me a little nervous because it was very reminiscent of a lot of our early games where Brian Reynolds was the offense and everybody else just cheered him on. And then Jared Jones looked a little shakier in the second inning and gave, let it tie right back up. And I'm like, uh-oh, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
But no,
he did.
So, I mean, again, in the end, it's a win. Then there was some encouraging. I wish Billy Cook could hit. I really wish Billy Cook could hit because he can field, he can throw, and he can run.
Yeah, no, he had a good game today as well. But yeah, and again, like talking about Jared Jones and now the second inning you mentioned, again, I'm on high alert. Jared Jones looks amazing. I felt like today was the 4 seasons of Jared Jones, if that makes sense. I'll wrap them to one start. Because we had that exciting first, and then the second opens up, and he walks Massey. Then Paul DeJong gets a hit. Adam Frazier walks off the bat. Bases loaded, no outs. We are in deep trouble. Trouble. Pirates, we've been here, right?
Yeah, we know how this story usually ends, right?
Right. Gurriel's up the bat, which is a new guy from the Royals they just picked up from Atlanta in the trade, who's, the veteran. Like, this is like a sneaky addition. He gets a sac fly. It's a 1-1 tied game. But hey, there's the out. Still, though, there's guys on base, 2 outs. And then what's Jared Jones do? Strikeout, end the inning. Looked really good in those 2 at-bats there. Hey, it's only 1-1 now.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, I'm always reluctant to credit a guy for getting out of it because he got himself into it, right? 2 walks and a single to load the bases with nobody out. I don't know how many flowers we should give him, regardless what happens after. But he did. And that's one of the great things about this kid. He doesn't flinch. He seems to get angry, and I think angry at himself more than anything else. And he takes it sort of personal, which we need a little bit of that fire on this. We need a lot of that fire on this team. And, all our leaders are very even keel and play it one game at a time, that sort of thing. And, we need some guys that just, neck gets a little red and they get a little mad and they amp it up a little. And that seems what he did. He's like, all right,
yeah,
this is my fault and I'm going to clean it up.
I've been talking about this like from day one this year. And the good thing about it is it hasn't changed, because you worry it's like, well, maybe just playing well, but then you might find out who he really is or whatnot. And you're absolutely right. I feel like there's a lot of people who them getting fired up, they can implode, right? Like they get too emotional. They get, they're not in check. They start imploding. And I feel like Jared Jones is quite the opposite. He gets fired up, and that's what gets him into the zone. Like I said, he competes on every single pitch, not just inning, not just game, every single pitch. It feels like he wants to win. And if he doesn't beat you just on the one pitch, yeah, like he like internalizes it. He gets kind of pissed off, fired up, and he's coming right back at you with 100 in top of the zone and striking you out. And today, I still see that person in Jared Jones, which is one of the best traits I feel like, other than 100-mile-an-hour fastball. I mean, that's something you can't teach.
Right.
But like having that personal trait is something I just love about Jared Jones.
Yeah, I do too. As I said, we don't have a lot of that on the team. And like I said, it'll be great when he's 2-3 years in and he's got sort of a veteran presence now and can sort of maybe assert himself more in the locker room, more with other players, that sort of thing. Right now, again, he, like you said, he internalizes it, but it seems to steal his focus. And it's just great to see because, like, I mean, we've been watching this for a while and we get into these kind of jams and the guy just, we talk about body, or at least I do. I talk about the body language. They look defeated. They've only given up a run, but they look like, they might as well have given up 4 because that's what they're about to do because they're in over their head and overwhelmed. And that's never the case with this kid. It doesn't matter who's at bat. He's not scared. And, he knows he's got special stuff. And that if he does what he's supposed to do, he's going to be really hard to beat.
Yeah, absolutely. So I talked about like the 4 seasons of Jared Jones, right? So we had the first one, we looked superb. The second one, who was kind of all over the place, but it gets it done. Now into the 3rd inning, he's up to the mound again because, of course, the Pirates offense don't do anything in the 2nd inning, so this rolls over. Right off the bat, Tommy Pham triples. Now, I will say this. On NS9 Live, we discussed and talked, hey, Ono Cruz has moved to center. It's been 11 games. What do we think right now about him? And at that time, we were talking quite highly. I mean, there's still things, that has to get cleaned up. It's still a learning experience, but athletically, just, he looks good out there. He's making plays look easy. And I feel like ever since we had that conversation, it's been the complete opposite for Ono Cruz. Yesterday's game was quite the experience. And today you saw some more of it as well. So I said, Tommy Pham gets that triple.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think you guys were right. He does look good out there. His athleticism is dynamic, something we've been missing, all over the field for a long time. And yeah, he scuffled yesterday. He's diving when he shouldn't dive, and he's not reading the ball right. But it's going to solve that. 8,800,800 more, fly balls hit to him. He's going to have to put the work in. And, I think he said yesterday that, look, I'm not going back to short. I'm a center fielder. I like it. I'm embracing it. And it's all we can ask for. We're going to see bumps in the road. And I'd rather see those bumps in center field than at shortstop. So I think in a season of wrong decision after wrong decision after wrong decision. And we all questioned this one. We didn't like the timing of it. We didn't like the way it went about. But I'm on board, and more importantly, O'Neal Cruz is on board. And I think in the not even in the long run, in the short term, he's going to be really good, and we're going to love having him out there.
Yep. But today, again, like you saw that instance, I mean, there was the ball hit high off the Clemente wall. Billy Cook is going back playing it. Billy Cook's brand new to PNC Park also. I mean, it's not like he's a veteran and knows how to play the ball well off, in this park. So, I mean, it just it is what it is. You have an inexperienced, right fielder who's young, and you have an inexperienced just exact center fielder in total.
Sorry to interrupt, but Neil's got a burner here, so I just.
So William says, "I'm not sure you can blame Shelton."
Bernard.
Yeah,
for Bernard.
right.
Who's
No,
Bernard?
I get that.
Oh, Bednar. Yeah.
But yeah. So like Billy, it plays off the wall, goes behind Billy Cook, but Oh No Cruz started like going. I mean, he wasn't back far enough to play the ball off the wall to back up Billy Cook as well. He was too close. He sees now how that ball plays off. So like it bounces behind both of them, which I mean that's probably a double, but because the ball the way it's played ends up being a triple for Tommy Pham. But here's the thing. Because you did talk and you opened the show talking about Billy Cook, Tommy Pham's on third. Guy's up the bat. It's the ball pretty deep to Billy Cook. What's Billy Cook do? He catches it. Pham starts tagging up and gets thrown out.
I loved it for two reasons. First off, Pham is not slow.
Oh, yeah. Right. No, my bad. Go ahead.
Right. Pham is not slow. And secondly, it's Roberto Clemente Day. And we got an assist from the right fielder on Roberto Clemente Day. And making no comparison here, none at all. But it seemed pretty cool that our right fielder threw somebody out at home on Roberto Clemente Day. So that sort of, kind of resonated with me, and I was glad to see it. But Billy Cook, it's what I said earlier. I wish he could hit. I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't think he can. But if he could hit good enough to be a fourth outfielder, he could be a really beneficial player on this team, right? Play all three outfield positions, some first base, a defensive replacement, that sort of thing. His speed, it seems real, he looks like he could be a really solid ball player if he can figure out how to hit major league pitching, which I think is the hardest thing to do in the world. So it's a lot to ask.
It is. And again, like I honestly don't, whatever the numbers show this year for Billy Cook, I'm not going to read too deep in because it's small sample. It's his first taste. It's his adjustment. It's his development. It is what it is. But I'd rather be here now getting that today than be up here doing this next year in April, May, June, what might be when you're trying to really produce and perform. So yeah, I'm probably okay with that. What I did like to see though is like you mentioned that defense and it was like a little bit of respect to Roberto Clemente in some, unimaginable way, just like to have that throw. I mean, it was a good throw. It was strong.
It was a good throw.
It was nothing like what Roberto could do, but just the fact, I mean, it was a strong throw. It was on the money, and it was a big moment because again, that triple, that could have been just a double, now no outs, leadoff triple, that guy's in scoring position. The Pirates could go down, 2-1 right away. That eliminates the base runner, eliminates the threat right then and there. A big moment in this game.
Takes the pressure off the pitcher. Again, he can pitch differently now, right? He can maybe bounce one up there. He can do some different things, and it was a great baseball play, and it was nice to see it. Billy Cook has looked good in all aspects of the game. I mean, he scored from first on a single today.
Yeah. Also,
G1 Bay for all his speed. And some of these other guys that we've trotted out there, constantly watching guys getting thrown out for sliding over second base and getting caught between second and third. This guy scored from first on a single because he's a smart and very capable base runner.
Yeah, and with that alone, just a very well executed hit and run. We're talking about the Pittsburgh Pirates. When is the last time those words came out of our mouth? A well executed hit and run.
Not since I've been on the pod. Right.
Well, there you go. Because I feel like it's never
happen,
the case.
Right. I don't think right.
Because for one, it's not well run.
One in
for two, there's no hit.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to have hit and run when you have no hit.
Right. But yeah, again, that was a really big moment for this too. So, but again, all in all, I mean, Jared Jones, I felt like had a solid outing. Now, what I'll say also, after watching the first inning and how good he was, and this isn't why it happened. Okay. He got in his own way with the pitch count and such, but I did wonder with how hard he's throwing. I was like, how long is he going to last? Like, is this going to continue? If he's pitching this hard, like how long is he going to go into this game? And he did only go 4 innings, but again, it wasn't because he was just throwing so hard and gas. It was more or less because of him getting in his own way, right? Like having that second inning, all the base runners he did allow in that sense, but also the poor defense behind him. And Ono Cruz, not only did that play, he also had another play where he slipped on the grass. So again, he didn't really have the defensive support behind him. He was mixed, a little bit throughout the game as well. But overall, again, Jared Jones, pretty solid outing, 4 innings pitched. You want to see that, of course, be higher, but does allow just the 2 earned runs, 6 hits, 3 walks. Again, like that's not good, but some of those hits were also questionable.
A lot of traffic.
Defense.
Right.
But
right. That wasn't, he didn't allow all that traffic on his own. It's a team game, so, and unfortunately his teammates aren't that good. One of the big questions with him will be his sort of, can he get through a whole season? Can he maintain velocity or enough velocity? He's a small guy. It has, it seems kind of like a violent type motion. It's electric how that ball comes out of his hand, but it will be interesting to see him, try to navigate a whole season without a stint on the IL. And, because, his innings are a little down after he took about 2 months off. So, he should have a little giddy up in the fastball right now, but he is one of the more fascinating players to watch the rest of this season and obviously into next season, because if he can harness all that ability and stay healthy, we got something.
Yep. So some of the offense, some of the scoring here, Nick Gonzalez had bases loaded up. And what I want to say is he didn't do too much. It was a dribbler down to the shortstop, right? He gets thrown out at first, but it scored a run. And that's something I kind of tweet out here. It's something I've, looking into him and stuff. We call him Nicky Knox, some people. We talk about like the RBIs, like he's an RBI magnet and such. And, when guys are in runners, when runners are in scoring position, like looking at his overall numbers, in that situation, he's a below average hitter, compared to league. And actually, like as far as like the slash goes, like he's a 303 hitter, but the power, the on bases and all there. I think he's like a 90 weighted runs created plus in that moment, which isn't terrible. Like I'm not saying he's terrible by any means. It's just he's a below average hitter in the grand scheme of things. He's 6th as far as weighted runs created plus for the Pirates with runners in scoring position. And he has the 8th most plate appearances as well. So he doesn't give him any opportunities, and he's not like one of the top hitters in that situation. However, he's 4th on the team in RBIs with the runners in scoring position. Like it just seems like he has this knack for whatever it is. Like again, he doesn't come in the moments hit like the big grand slam, whatever. But just like today, it doesn't count. Like he doesn't do his job, right? He got out. However, it scored a run for however reason. He finds ways to get guys in. And today, like that was a good example. Like bases were loaded, he gets an out, but he gets the run there. Pirates are able to, at that point, tie the game up at 2.
It's harder and harder to ignore his ability with runners in scoring position, right? His ability to knock runs in, I guess. It's all the stats will tell you it's not real, and all the analytics will tell you it's not real. There is no such thing as a clutch gene, those sort of things. But it's now September, we've got 2 weeks left. And since the kid has been up here, before he was on the IL, and since, when there's men on base, he seems to find a way to get him in. I don't know if he locks in. I don't know what it is. I'm hoping that the Nicky G that we've seen since he's back, or we saw for the first month, or since he's been back, is the real Nick Gonzalez, and because I'll be shocked if he's not starting at second base next year. And I hope the RBI thing is real, because we need, especially if he's batting where he should be in the lineup, 6, 7, 8, that sort of thing, with the ability to knock in runs, it would be terrific.
I agree. And like the one thing to talk about again, like the numbers aren't sexy in the sense of like how well he's just performing in that spot, but he gets guys in, and it just goes back down to the fact that like he puts the ball in play. This is what we talk about. Like I understand, like in this day and age, there's a lot of the analytics, and a lot of the thing is a strikeout's just as good as an out, right? So strikeouts are okay if you hit power, make it an out's an out, and that's where again, like I disagree. And I think there's a lot of back and forth that like last year with like Jack Swinsky and such. And like this kind of shows into that sense, you know, I mean, an out isn't the same. Putting the ball in play leads to a lot of good things. If Nick Gonzalez strikes out right then and there, bases are still loaded. You're still down 2-1, but now there's 2 outs. He puts the ball in play and well, there's 2 outs, but a run scores. And now you've tied the baseball game. And that 1 run was very meaningful because the Pirates only won today by 1 run. So again, like that's what I'm kind of alluding to with Nick Gonzalez is, you know, he does find a way, but a lot of that is because he is aggressive and he does make good contact. A lot of his opportunities early on in his development was striking out. And that's something he's gotten a lot better at. He puts the ball into play. And as you see, good things tend to happen.
Yeah, we don't see that here. We don't see hitters that come up here with a high strikeout rate seem to reduce it. So he is sort of an aberration, a unicorn, or a one-off in that situation. But yeah, it's I know, and we had that debate with somebody last year, and it was ridiculous. Oh, I don't care. What's this? I mean, my productive out. You know, there's such a difference. There's so many things you can do with an out. A strikeout, you can do nothing. So, again, make contact. The other, we don't need to list. Everybody in here knows that there's a difference between a productive out and a strikeout. But yeah, and the Pirates need more guys that are doing that. Like we said, you know, we don't hit and run very effectively. There's a lot of things we don't do well. So for Nick to be able to knock in runs like that, and imagine if we had better hitters, he'd have more opportunities, and we could make a better argument.
Right. Yeah, but like all in all, pretty effective offensive day. Isiah Kiner-Falefa, the leadoff hitter, 3 hits today. You know, he was a big catalyst. He had 3 hits, 2 runs. Pirates score 4 today. He was able to, you know, because of those 3 hits, score twice. Big help, big catalyst there. And like you mentioned with Brian Reynolds, you know, he did have the early hit, 1 hit today. O'Neill Cruz, 1 for 2 with a walk. Does get pulled out as a defensive replacement with Michael Taylor in the 7th. I want to talk just a little bit about this. I'm curious. Is there more to it? Like that slide was awkward. Did he maybe at like later in the game feel like, you know what, this is kind of bothering me? And that's why he's out, because he was due up in the 7th.
Leading off.
Be the leadoff hitter. It's only a 1-run ball game at that point of time. And I get it's late in the game. It's the 7th. Like, you know, you want to preserve that. And O'Neill Cruz hasn't looked good, but it's also O'Neill Cruz, and he's next up. And it's only one run game, so you might need that offense. I'm interested in what happened there. Was it more, or is this something we're going to see right now? Because I don't want to be seeing this.
I hope we find out that it's an abundance of caution rather than a strategic move. Because if it was a strategic move, you let him hit first. You let him hit. If he gets on base, you then pinch run with Michael A. Taylor, right?
Right.
If your motivation was, I want to make sure, you know, we get good defense in these last couple innings, and that's fine. I understand that, but I mean, come on. I mean, if he's able to, you let your team's second best hitter and one of your better hitters here in the past 2 months, you let him hit. You want to see him hit.
Right.
So you're all right. I'm curious too. I'm hoping Alex Stump or somebody looks into that and find. I'm sure they all will, and hopefully Derek Shelton won't yell at them for asking. So,
100% agreed. Let's just talk to the bullpen here, and we'll get some sandwiches out here. But yeah, Holderman comes in. He has like that Jared Jones second inning. He loads the bases, escapes just 1 earned run. Dennis Santana comes in, helps the cause, closes out the inning, and then he carries over and it finishes the next inning. Dennis Santana goes 1.1 innings today, only gives up 1 hit. Nothing else. Continues his scoreless streak. I mean, Dennis Santana is looking every bit of the best reliever on this team at this point in time. And then Bednar does come in as well. Pitches an inning, strikeout, no hits, no walks, looked better. And then Chapman comes in and closes it out.
Back.
We're not going there, Doug. We're not going there. Let's just move forward. Aroldis Chapman comes in to save the game, and he does the job. Right. He goes an inning, no hits, no walks, also a strikeout. Pirates
no
win.
Drama, right? No drama.
4-3. Yes. Yeah, it was very drama-free today.
I'm a little disappointed though, because first Neil had trouble saying Dennis Santana's name, and now you're struggling. It's Cy Young. That's who he's been.
Actually, my bad.
Right. Actually, it's kind of an insult to Dennis Santana because he's pitched better than Cy Young has since he's been here after that first inning. It's been unbelievable. I can't wait for him to come in games now. I'm like, why isn't he in yet? Then I'm like, okay, I get it. We should probably wait him for a little, but every time there's a dicey situation, I'm just like, Santana, I know he pitched 4 days in a row. Pitch him, right? I hope he's for real. It's been lights out and no anxiety now. When he comes in, you're like, oh, good. He's got this. Don't worry. I don't care who's on base. He's fine. He's been brilliant. So, and it was nice to see. We had that's the 7th, 8th, and 9th that we sort of planned out at the start of the season when we had this lockdown bullpen, the third best bullpen in Major League Baseball, according to I think the MLB channel or what have you. And we haven't seen a lot of it, but man, that was it tonight. 4 outs from Santana, and then I think was it six straight outs from Bednar and Chapman. So, that's Pirates formula: decent starting pitching, good relief, and scratch it and get that 4 runs. Remember back in the good old days when we talked about when they just score 4 runs?
All they could do.
Right. So there it is.
Yep. Well, Doug, let's get on to it.
Sandwiches.
As mentioned, Pirates win. So let's give all the sandwiches away. You guys know what to do. If you haven't already, get those hashtag raise it's in. We only have 47 entries. So again, I understand the Steelers are on. It is NFL Sunday, but we have free Primanti Brothers sandwiches. There should be way more than 47 entries at this point in time. So I'll give you guys a few more moments here.
In this time, of course, in the Steelers game, people, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, if you haven't done so already, give us those thumbs up. Give us that like. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave us a very, very nice review on the podcast, even the comments on the show. Tell us how well we did. Go ahead and tell how terrible Neil is, right? And all the Shelton talk. Do all that stuff. But
right,
Doug, I'm trying to.
I believe he's still supporting Derek Shelton.
I'm trying to stall here a little bit. Again, we're still stuck in these 47 entries.
Stretch it out. Come on, people. 47 entries, yes. We're grateful that you're here, chat, but where are your friends? I mean, the Steelers game's not that compelling, and there's breaks in the action.
All right, well, you know what? Screw it, Doug. We're doing it here. So
let's go.
We're drawing. I just want to say I saw Bucko Mike's name in there, so don't give us anything, Bucko Mike.
I don't want to hear that we're conspiring against him.
Jerry's a winner.
Congratulations, Jerry.
Yes, sir. So, Jerry, if you don't know, go ahead, DM us in any socials, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. If none of those, go ahead and send us an email, northshore9@gmail.com. All we need is your address, and we'll give those 2 sandwiches out to you here shortly. So, congratulations, Jerry. Doug, congratulations on getting through this post-game show. Congratulations to the Pirates for winning their 71st game today.
Yes, well done. You were well prepared, so that was great. All I had to do was say, "Yeah, you're right." Good point. We know why I'm on the Steelers games. It's where I could do the least amount of damage. Right?
Yeah.
We
if you're agreeing with me,
it's
a terrible show.
To the when you're right, you're right. What can I say?
I don't know. But with that said, let's go ahead, of course, get out of here.
We've missed the Jags game.
Let's get out of there.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you all for watching.
Do we play tomorrow? Is there a game tomorrow?
That's a good question.
We may or not. Yes. We'll be here tomorrow for Starbucks, I'm sure.
St. Louis. 7:45 game. Skeens pitches. So
excellent. There you go. Paul Skeens Day.
Yes.
We expect all of you and all your friends here tomorrow night and tomorrow morning for Starbucks.
Yep. So we'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.